to some other, like they're, you know, if they work for a leader like you know what's gonna happen. If they go into another agency, they may not like it. So
There are actually.
Cause we're gonna be legends, gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary, it's about to be legendary. Yeah, we're gonna be legends, gonna teach them all. Got this feeling in our souls we carry.
what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life?
Bagels and cream cheese, eggs toasted, plain and not, no plates and napkins.
This is literally why we're gonna go out of business. It's a complete waste of money. Really excited to get together this morning. Just trying to do a lot more FaceTime with small groups. Just get to jam with different peeps and things of that nature. So just wanted to jam, see how you guys were doing, see what's going on, see if we can shoot the shit a little bit, talk about stuff. I think the worst decisions I make is when my word got in the way. So one thing I've been thinking a lot about is the decisions I don't make that I'm pumped with is because I'm not willing to go back on my word. And that is really easy for me to do as VaynerMedia. Like, as I always say, the only thing is the constant is change. So it's easy to say like, hey, we're eliminating project. Like I'm almost secretly want to bring project management back just to do it, just to remind everybody why I believe in that. So as a company and as a business, I think it's my biggest strength. As a guy, it's the biggest, it's the reverse. It's like the thing that matters to me most is not to go back on my word. And the problem is a lot of times the other human being doesn't hold up their end of the bargain, but they don't see it. I feel great. I feel great. I feel like we're so hungry to be great that we're hypersensitive to things that are, we make things that are C issues, A+ issues, because we just are winners. I have a good idea. A video series that is the perfect wine if you're 21 to 30 years old to start getting into wine with. And then we target 21 to 30-year-olds in New Jersey. You know, the perfect wine to give to your boss if you work at, and then let's find the top 3 New Jersey employers. Like, just like as a joke, things like that, targeting people in New Jersey, and it says free shipping and it's a video, like it will work. About to go into a personal finance meeting. We will not be filming.
LA and
Chicago first.
Chicago for a day, like $350. Yeah.
Well, now that I have a camera, you know, I'm settling the score. Go ahead.
Can you not shoot while you're driving?
I wasn't.
Saturday.
No, I wasn't shooting.
No,
Justin
but I
was
mean, like,
shooting.
even talking to camera, I'm a little nervous about it.
People talk to other people sitting in the passenger seat driving. Hey guys, how are you?
See ya, heading up to meet you guys.
Are
right
you?
now.
How
Yeah.
good to see you, man. You well?
How you doing? Yeah.
Good. This is the owner of the Miami Dolphins, which is a bad thing. But a much better thing is this is Stephen Ross, my only non-family member business partner in my life, somebody that I look up to and everybody should. Steve, say something nice.
It's great being partners with Gary Vaynerchuk, I gotta tell you. It's a trip.
We're having a great lunch. Big talk. I mean, he just said something that motivated me. He's like, I just have all these ideas. When you have this kind of fire, whether you're 2 or 76 or 176, nothing beats the entrepreneurial fire. I love it. Steve, 5 wins in a row for the Dolphins.
6.
Illuminating my mind.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, man. How you been?
Nice to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Really
Great to
long
see you. I would love for this to be, tell me what's in your, like, straight up, how can I help? Like, tell me what's important to you. Like, what are you thinking about? You may not know how I can help, but tell me the 411. When you think about this city, there's an absolute, and based, I can already tell your taste. I'm just probably thinking about John and other things, and then just think about wineries, and right? There's an absolute, here's what you need. You need me to be boxed out of it. If I wasn't me and had wine relationships and didn't hear this conversation, but I was me as a human being, I need to be boxed out of the first one. It needs to be expensive, and I needed to miss it. And then you have something.
To create some demand.
100%. It's never about year one anyway. This is where everybody fucks up. It's never about year one.
No, that part I agree.
Right? I know you. I mean, I could. You know this. You know that. I mean, I know it, but you know it. You know it better than me in reality. I know it in theory. So that's why I'm going with the. Is it actually 1,500? Is it actually expensive?
Yeah.
Is it actually fucking, 3, 4, 5, 7? I don't know, 1,000. But is it fucking ridiculous? Yeah. Is it Snoop Dogg and some country star that's huge right now are gonna perform? Great, Miranda Lambert. While you eat Shake Shack burgers with 61 Lafitte. Like a double mashup. You see where I'm going?
Burgers and Bordeaux is a great pairing.
Right. So like, you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
You can win that game.
It's the
You can win. You need basically. Listen, this city's super simple. Every guy here wants to think they have the biggest. And if you can trick them into that game, you have won. And you reverse engineer that. And the truth is, if you're talking,
I had that. I know I don't have the biggest.
I'm definitely not even in the run. I'm not even in the running.
That's unfortunate.
Let's jam on it.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Real pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the biggest thing is
okay.
now we're just in flow.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, talk
Nice
to you
meet
soon. Real pleasure. So, rainy day in New York City, bunch of good meetings today. Great meeting with Steve Ross, you guys saw that clip. Go ahead, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I'm always eating with this.
Just a good buzz in the office. Actually, do some B-roll, D-Rock, right now. Good buzz, everybody's rocking and rolling. Just a classic fucking Tuesday in November doing our shit. And it was funny, it's so weird, I wasn't even thinking about us later in the day. I said to her, do you know how many fucking hipsters would wear t-shirts? That was literally in the meeting. The answer of, hey, the brand lift in itself through this execution is worth it, plus you're gonna make 1/3 or 2/3 economics on whatever is built, and here's a guy who's done it, and he's done it for Madonna, now we're gonna do it for, we're gonna do it for, the answer is yes.
They're all not incentivized
Correct.
to accept our message.
So are you trying to message to them?
Yes.
Let me give you a really good piece of advice.
Okay.
Never sell to the unsellable.
Yeah.
What? You think you're gonna be charming enough? So like, I think the question becomes the fact that you don't have the option to completely framework the going around or different things, and the fact that you're stuck in, great, that's very nice, Gary, but that's actually what I have to do for a living.
Yeah.
The question is, you can't sell to them in any normal way whatsoever.
Our job is to try and figure out how to message to them and convince them without selling to them. That's the whole point.
The question is who though? Because if you're selling to your contemporaries and they're being blocked above them because it's not in the profit margin interest of the organization, that's like selling to these 4 characters when I'm gonna stop them.
Kind of jiggler, so have you still seen him tomorrow?
Not that.
All over.
Okay. I would see him in LA for a little bit though.
640, you're in now, 35, 40. Cool.
Cool, see ya. Hey. There's some good content today. I think it could become an extremely meaningful revenue center and a place where I can put the future leaders of my organization to get closer to me and to learn more autonomy and to, I mean, the truth is a lot more than you would think. The 3 of us, the 6 of us, whatever it is, are gonna sell something for $200,000 that we used to give away for free. I'm excited about that. That's a good idea in business. I'm really well. I loved your Instagram post. Yes. So listen, I want to have this over a dinner. You're an important cog in my machine. We had our most meaningful chat 5 minutes into your tenure at a picnic. I'd like to set up a 1.5 hour drinks or dinner in January, mid-January, to have this conversation. The answer is we're gonna do both, and I wanna really talk about you and us and me and life, and so I don't wanna make this a 10-minute conversation. So I think punting this to 6 weeks from today, giving you the preview that the answer is gonna be both, but more importantly, taking it to a macro level and like really getting aligned on the short-term and long-term futures. Like, I'm very excited about you, man, and I wanna really start building our bond, and that's a priority for me in 17, and this seems like a great starting off point. No. Yeah, and it's also gonna lend itself to bigger macro conversations that I think could be really fun and inspiring on both ends. Okay, so just set that up with Tyler right now. All right, how you doing otherwise, all good? Love it. All right, cool, sounds good. I'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye.
So here's the gig. Music intro, little intro. I set you up.
Ben Ruby, do a little Instagram and Snapchat stories for me.
I set you up with just a little history. You ready? You ever
Yeah.
do this before?
Once or twice. Keep quite a close communication with Brandon and my dad and know a lot about what's going on in the industry. I think one of the things that's really fascinating to me is, much like I was very right about Burgundy's explosion a decade ago, I'm positive.
What preceded that? Bordeaux's?
Yes, and cold California cabs.
It shifted to Burgundy.
Yeah.
Not because of the Chinese, just
A little bit for a few minutes, but just by logic.
Right.
You know, once Parker became not the only voice in wine, people started saying things like,
which we'll get to in a few seconds.
okay, I'm always trying to set you up. You know, what happened was, as Parker became one of the most important voices instead of the only voice like he was for 15 years, along with Wine Spectator, what happened was people started deploying logic, and they said, you know, there's 28,000 cases being made of Chateau Haut-Brion or Lafite, and there's 330 of this single vineyard, you know, Burgundy, and so just supply and demand kicked in.
So that allure of collecting.
Because don't forget, Parker got kicked out of Burgundy. There was a lot of controversy there.
It was a Cali Cab and Bordeaux heavy.
And Rhone, and he loved Burgundy. The truth is, I won't speak to it because I never fully knew the story. I could recall it. He had a controversy with a couple producers. He stopped reviewing Burgundy. That's why he brought on Pierre Ravani way back when he first introduced another critic. And so what happened was, Burgundy just wasn't that important to the high net worth individuals of America. And then they became it, and then supply and demand kicked in. I believe the same thing will happen to Barolo. So my big prediction here on Heritage Radio Network.
On the Grape Nation.
On the Grape Nation.
Where we're bringing wine to the people.
We're bringing wine to the people.
So the trend is?
The trend is, if you're a collector and you want to buy some wine for your kids' weddings, or like the guy who hosts his shows made some good money on flipping some wine, he made some good bets, I would buy small, tiny production, highly rated, sought after Barolo, Bruno Giacosa, Red Label, stuff like Conterno single vineyards, you know, because I believe that Barolo will become a dominant wine of choice of the next generation because it sits in between that Pinot Noir, Cabernet cycle.
It has the finesse and the complexity.
But the power. Rick, who just made his first big check at Goldman Sachs at 28, he's gonna buy at the restaurant, trying to press the girl that he's trying to hook up with that night, a Tig, a Sassicaia, a Salaya. He's not gonna say, hey baby, check out this Aldo Conterno, and so to me, that's where the opportunity lies.
I think you're right on that. Now, what I
By the way,
want-
Rick's girlfriend in that scenario is Sally.
Okay. Looking at and drinking.
So this is such an iconic wine. First of all, thanks for sharing it. The color's black, dark, unbelievably,
13-year-old wine.
which is incredible because it usually loses some of that intensity.
Rust on the edge.
On the nose, it's got hardcore black jam, a little hint of
Heavy black.
really black, by the way, like super juicy, feels like you're smelling red fruit, blueberries, blackberries, black fruit as well for that reason. A little hint of tobacco on the nose, on the tail end, you get a little smoke.
Graphite charcoal smoke.
Yep, 100%. Whether it's a match or a little bit of tobacco, it depends on your nose, that's what you'll get. On the palate,
Mouthfeel.
so this is interesting, right? I don't know for D-Rock, you and Ben, depending on where your wine palates are, you can feel a little bit of the tannins on the back end, but they're so soft.
They are very soft.
And usually it's bitter.
Tell people what the tannins are.
It's how you that puckery, tough flavor you taste when you taste red
Puckery
wine.
flavor from the skins, the seeds, the stem.
Yeah, all the stuff that isn't the fruit, as you can imagine. And by the way, very easy, even if you're underage, to learn this. Go take a grape, eat the skin versus eating the actual grape. That transcends into red wine. It gets bitter. If you remember the old bitter beer face commercials, which I thought was really funny, by the way. Anyway, nonetheless, what's great about this is what aged wine's all about. This wine, 8, 9, 10 years ago, would have felt hot on the back end because the alcohol and of course. So this is an elegance. You know what this is? This is like a 42-year-old distinguished gentleman who's got a little gray coming in.
Still handsome.
Right? Still handsome. Like was an absolute boy band rock star, handsome at 19, heartthrob.
Timberlake?
Timberlake would be a great comp. 42-year-old Justin Timberlake is what this wine is. And so I like that. It's balanced, long finish. I'm still tasting it. And much like 42-year-old Justin Timberlake, and he's happily married, so I don't want to wish this on him, but still has plenty of game, right? This wine can probably last another 15 years easily
In the bottle.
having the fruit in the bottle. I mean, it's really good.
And you've been listening to the Grape Nation. We'll see you next time. That was great.
I love you, pal.
Were you good with that?
I was great with that. I'm glad we have that on
Fun
tape.
show.
Yeah.
Thanks
Love
for
you, pal.
coming in. I know
Talk to you soon. Yep, we gotta go. See ya.
Thank you.
That was fun. Send me a link when it's
I'll
live.
send you everything.
Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Real pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Supported.
Cause the weight that's falling down, down, it's stinging. You're stinging, your touch is enough. Your touch is enough. For all the pressure that's pushing me down. Depth of the ocean that's filling me up.
12:03 in the morning, leaving the office like we do. Good hustle, Tyler. Good night. Good day. Big Vayner Sports meeting just now. Gonna fucking change the game. Oops. Gonna change the fucking game. Just like Wine Library, just like Vayner Media, Vayner Sports is gonna change the game. Pay attention.